don't know what that was. You know? I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Oh, goodness. I don't know what the fuck that. Who knows? Who knows? I'm gonna get the business here in a minute. Trying to put my garment on. Alrighty. Here we go. Let's get the business clear. All right, before I get started, give all praise and glory to Yahweh. Slow. Before I get started, give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem Kakadash, Hashem. Start that over. Before I get started, give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem, Kakadash. There we go. Get back out here, man. It's Friday again. Made another one. No, we're gonna get into the scriptures, man, prophecy, because this whole war ready run has started up again. You know, it flared back up. No peace treaties gonna come out of this war, man. Trump and mess around and stepped in some shit, you know? And he can't get out of this war even if he wanted to. Because it's all part of biblical prophecy, man. You know? And really, deep down, he has no intentions of getting out of it, man. He has his eyes set on that oil over there. You know, they want to take Korg Island. You know, his handlers, his bosses, really the Rothschilds, they want that Korg Island, man. They want to take the resources. You know, so they could care less about the Iranian people. You know, they under a oppressive regime. You know, regime. You know, they love the Iranian people so damn much, but they don't mind dropping bombs on them, though. You know, they said they over there striking civilian targets, man, residential buildings. But yet they say, oh, we want to liberate the Iranian people. You know, it's all just lies and propaganda, man. You know, Esau, Edom, so-called white man don't give a damn about nobody but himself. You know, and he get on TV, you know, portraying himself as the good guy. You know, as the knight and shining on, like he's coming to save every damn body. In all actuality, he's coming to kill your ass, man. He's coming to put you to death. You know, steal your land, steal your resources, and steal you. You know, so all this bullshit about they want to help the Iranian people so bad. It's nothing but lies. We know the true objectives. Get the oil, take the land. You know? It's just that simple. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this shit out. You know, got nothing to do with no fucking freedom. If anything, they're gonna be under more oppression once the U.S. get involved, man. And when the U.S. show up, things get worse. You know, they take down one so-called oppressive regime and set up another one that's worse than the last one. You know, so the world has caught on to the lies and the BS that the U.S. constantly does. They run the same play over and over and over and over and over and over. And the man of Lord, we are well hip to this man's game, man. You know, we know he up to no good. You know, we know he up to no damn good. You know, that's just in his nature. You know, and he's still running that same lie, that same play about the peace treaties. You know, just ask the so-called Indians how them peace treaties worked out, man. Ask them how good is a peace treaty. You know, they don't work. Man. They were never meant to work. Peace treaty is just something to get you to let your guard down. You know, you laying back, sipping lemonade, thinking, "Oh, everything's fine, man. There's no more war, no nothing." And you look up, you see some fucking F-16s flying over your damn capital, man. Or B-52 bombers leveling your whole block. You know, let's get some precepts. We'll let the scriptures talk. That's the spirit. I'm already in Micah. Let's go to 2. Micah 2. This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. So the scripture is saying destruction to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. You know, thinking about taking your land, taking your country, is somebody, you know, thinking about you know, they've been up all night thinking about how they're gonna take your land and working evil upon their beds, man. So they sit up all night thinking about how they're gonna take you over or take your country down. So let's go on. It says, when the morning is light, they practice it. So when daybreak hit, they put those plays, those plans into action. You know, peace treaty off, ceasefire over. You know. So this is what this man does. This is his MO. It says, because it is in the power of their hand. Yeah, so the power is in their hands right now. The Most High has given Esau Edom, so-called white man, the power to rule the earth right now. And he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing, man. You know, causing carnage, mayhem, destruction, grief throughout the earth, man. Because the Most High has given him power to carry this out, man. It's his time to rule. So when the ball's in your court, The Most High let you have at it, man. He let you get your shine on, if you will. You know. Verse 2. And they covered fields and take them by violence. So yeah, they covered fields, they covered land, take them by violence. You know, just like the good old US of A. You know, they took this place by violence, man. You know, steamrolled the so-called Native Americans. You know, killed what, hundreds of millions total that we know of. At least that's what they admit to. You know, they admit to that. You can add another few million to that, you know. It says, and they take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. So they oppress a man in his house. Okay. Hosea, I believe it's 12:6, says he's a merchant. He loved to oppress. Roughly paraphrasing. This man loves to oppress your ass. He loves to put taxes on you, tax you to death, come up with all kind of endless laws, trap your ass up. You know, they're talking about free. Oh, you free in America. Yeah, you free to go to work. You free to go get you something to eat. And that's it. Go down there and look at the laws on them books and see how free your ass is, man. They got laws on top of laws down there that you don't even fucking know of, man. And they can fry you at any given moment with them laws. You know, you free to get your ass in some mess. Okay? It says, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. So yeah, that's what he does, man. He loves to oppress you. And the main way he oppressing your ass now with his fiat currency, man, his debt note, the US dollar, man. It's nothing but a debt note, you know? You get all these idiots claiming they talking about they so rich, this, that, and the third, but you got nothing but pretty much a bunch of IOUs in your pocket, man. You know, real wealth is gold, silver, land, cattle, you know, actual tangible items, not some damn fiat currency, fiat paper in your pocket. And with that, he controls the masses. You know, you'll kill your damn mama over this damn worthless ass money, man. It's paper, you know? You'll throw friendships away. You know, this should have destroyed families, man. Fighting over some damn paper. While the whole time, the ones who actually had the wealth, you know, land, real estate, you know, gold, silver, they sitting back laughing. sitting back and laughing, enjoying life. Oh yeah, oil, they got that. Sitting back and laughing while everybody else in this rat race trying to make a dollar. So the ultimate form of oppression that this man uses is debt. He's nothing but a debt slave, you know? You got up team loans and mortgages out, man. And you a slave to the bankers. You know, we all slaves to the bankers. You know, the tax man. You know, fucking you over with the taxes. So you constantly oppressed, man. About to get your ass flat. Walking in the street, you about to be a pancake. You know where you at? So yeah, right now, the most popular field being coveted right now is Iran. You know, they already got Venezuela. You know, I'm just talking about current, you know, events, man. You know, they're working on Cuba now. But hey, it's in this man, like the scripture say in verse 1, it's in the power of his hand to do this, man. So the Most High is letting him do his thing. You know, he letting Esau run his tab up, if you will. You know, he's letting him run the tab up. But eventually, the bill's going to come due. The bill's going to come due, and he's going to have to pay it. You know? And we're in those stages where that check is coming to that table, man. You know, you've been eating good. You had a nice dinner. You know, you've been enjoying yourself, laughing, drinking. You know, ordered you some dessert, still talking and yapping, laughing, having a good time. And then out of nowhere, that waiter bring that bill, bring that check. And then the mood changes, you know? You know? It's like, oh, here's your bill. Here's your check whenever you're ready. You know, no rush. So the same thing's gonna happen to Esau Edom, man, the so-called white man. The Most High is gonna bring him that bill and that check and say, hey, but the only difference, it ain't gonna be, oh, you know, just whenever you get around to it, no, you gonna have to pay it right then and right there. You're gonna have to pay that bill. It's gonna be due the minute you see it. You know, it ain't gonna be no peace treaties, man, with the Most High. You know, your rulership is gonna be up, man. Your time will be officially, you know, been up. And we're getting closer and closer to that day. You know, so this war with Iran is beautiful, man. You know, Pete Hegseth already said, hey, shit, by December, you probably looking at the draft, man. You know, how's it going? You know, they talking about getting that draft started around December. Because you got a holy war to go fight, man. You got Israel leading the charge, and they all in the biblical prophecy. But when I talk about it, I'm crazy. But when Israel get on TV and talk about it, oh, it's spiritual with them. Oh yeah, they right. When I talk about it, I'm out of my mind. But you can get these guys up in suits, prime ministers, things of that sort, talking about how the war that's going on right now all had to do with prophecy. And matter of fact, you got Hegseth talking about prophecy. Trump. But it's okay if they talk about it. Nobody has a word to say. And they all leading you into this World War III. And all I'm doing is talking about it. And they want to hang me from a damn tree. And you got people actually leading you into World War III head first. And ain't a damn peep out of you people, man. You ain't telling them, oh, go move somewhere else. Go down the street. Don't stand here. But here it is. You got troops over there in the Middle East, all primed up for World War III. And y'all ain't saying a goddamn thing, man. So I can't wait till it goes hot. When I'm talking about hot, I'm talking about ground troops. Because you can only do airstrike for so long. You're gonna have to eventually send in the ground troops if you want to take something over. Yeah, you can soften them up with some airstrikes. But when they get down to it, you got to put boots on the ground, man. And your sons and your daughters, your nieces and your nephews are gonna go off into that desert, man, and not come back. Once you get your draft papers, you might well kiss mama goodbye because you ain't gonna never see her again, man. You better enjoy whatever you got at that moment, because your ass is gonna die in that desert. You're gonna be a permanent desert ornament over there, man. So hey, we steadily moving closer and closer to December, man. So we're gonna see when this draft kicks off. When you go to that mailbox and you see that them draft orders, at that moment you're gonna realize you fucked. Men and women going this time. Just think about how it's gonna be a bunch of widows in America. Man. All the men are gonna get sent off to the Middle East. Because Uncle Sam needs bodies for this war, man. Trump needs bodies. Bibi Netanyahu needs body for his war, man. And you people right for the picking, man. Right for the picking. Let's go to Joel 3. This is Joel 3:1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. And we're in that time right now, where the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are in captivity, man. You know, you're nothing but a slave, man, in this society. Yeah, we all debt slaves, but you got a serving class in America, man. And you got a ruling class. And guess which class you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are in? The serving class. If you don't know, I fill you in. You know? Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which in the Hebrew is Yahweh, meaning the Most High's judgment. He's going to bring them all down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. All these nations. Why? Because there's a big war that's got to take place. The last and final war that we're in the midst of. You know? This is going to be the last war ever recorded. It says, and I will plead with them, meaning judge them, for they are my people, and for my heritage, meaning the land of Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So yeah, you got heathens in our land right now, saying they the people. But the Most High is going to redeem his people who are scattered all over the earth, man, the four corners of the world. He's going to come and get us, man. You know, he's only coming for the elect, though. He ain't coming to get all of Israel. It ain't gonna be like the first time when we left Egypt and one big happy family. No, we all got out of Egypt. You know, we all left Egypt the first time. But this spiritual Egypt is gonna be a limited amount of seats on this ride, man. Everybody ain't going. You know, you gotta have that golden ticket, like they say, man, in order to get the hell out of here, man. Verse 3, and it says, hold on, let me read that last part. And parted my land. Yeah, they parted the land of Israel, man. You got heathens in that land. You got the Arabs over there, the wannabe Jews over there, so-called Chinese, fucking so-called Ethiopians over there. They all in our land, man. You know, got their fucking feet up. But all that's gonna change though, man. You know, you gotta don't forget Esau Edom. His ass is over there deep, man. Thick. You know? But this World War III is gonna change all that, man. You know, we're getting ready to go back home. You know, like Kanye West, that album, man, Homecoming, man. We about to go home, man. And can't nobody fucking stop it either, man. Nobody can stop this. Cat's out of the bag. The word is going out. The message is out, man. You know, the genie is out of the bottle, if you will. You know, so we getting ready to go home, man. And like on that what is that Sprite commercial? Feels so good. And it feels so good when the boy is singing. Yeah, it feels good, man. We about to go. and it's lovely, man. We ain't gonna have these fucking shitty ass streets in the kingdom, man. Worn down, ran down looking houses and shit. We ain't gonna have no eyesores in the kingdom of heaven, man. Or blighted properties. Fucking potholes everywhere, man. It ain't going down like that. That depiction when they had Dorothy and them on that yellow brick road going to what's that? I think what that shit is. With that big ass like castle like it was all majestic looking. They were trying to emulate the kingdom of heaven, man, which is gonna be on earth. Everything fucking gold, man. You ain't seen wealth, man. No, that's for these people on this side, man. So-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're gonna rule and rule forever. You know? We're going to rule fucking forever. And we ain't never coming down. And the scripture says it's gonna be forever and ever and ever, man. Nobody's gonna be able to take us out of power, man, once we get back. You know? They talking about, oh, we was kings. Yeah, bitch, we're gonna be kings and gods in the kingdom of heaven, man. Gods too. Matter of fact, the scripture said we're gonna be kings and priests, man. And gods. We're going back to that God statue again, man. You know? So laugh it up, and make mockery. Live it up. But payback's a bitch, man. Payback's is a bitch. And the scripture said we're gonna pay you back twice. He said pay you back double. It's all good. And it's all good. But yeah, we're gonna have them streets of gold, bro. Going to Revelation, it speaks about how the foundations of the kingdom, man. With all the different, jewels and shit, man. Stones. Just the foundation. So this ain't gonna be no fairy tale in the sky floating around. It's gonna be right here on the earth, man. And we're in the beginning stages of it. So I'm glad this war has kicked back up. Because it's starting to get boring for me. We just need that one big trigger, man. That's one big spark, to get Russia involved, China involved, man. NATO, EU, the African nations, man. We're waiting for all of them to get involved with this war. So we can have a real World War III. But it's coming in due time. It's coming. It's coming. Let's go to verse 3, Joel 3:3. And they have cast lots for my people and given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. So they sold, we were sold, for just bottles of wine, man. Hey, it just said, hey, They cast lots, man. You know, they pretty much bid it on us, man. They said, and giving a boy for a harlot, so they trade a little boy for a whore, and a little girl for a bottle of wine, man. That's how much. That's how low we were brought down, man. You know, verse 4. Yeah. And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, who are the so-called Arabs? They ain't getting off the hook either, man. Uh, these Arabs, they got blood on their hands too. You know, so when I go make my deliveries, they want to talk about, hey, brother, bless you, brother. We ain't no goddamn brothers, man. Your name Muhammad, man. I ain't never seen you eating fucking mac and cheese and greens and shit at the house with me, man. Come on, brother. So them Arabs try to pull the wool over our eyes, man. Yeah, but they don't fool the man of the Lord. You know, with all that brother, this, that, and the third. Nah, you ain't my brother, and you ain't my cousin. Your ass going into slavery too, man. You going into slavery too. You know, so they had us in the slave trade also. You know, they had the Southern Kingdom, so-called Negroes, so-called Jamaicans, who are the Benjaminites, and the so-called Haitians, who are the Levites. You know, they had the Southern Kingdom, the Dark Kingdom, if you will, in slavery, man. And the Most I ain't forgot about that. You know, so they get quiet when you talk about, oh, it's just a white man. Uh, yeah, he did us the worst. You know, he fucked us over the most and the worst. But them goddamn Arabs right there with him, man. So they both gotta go. They both gotta go into slavery. To all the coast of Palestine, will ye render me a recompense? So will you pay the Most High back for putting his people in slavery? Is what he asking. Or are you going to pay him back for putting us in slavery, man? So-called Latinos, they ass was in slavery. You know, they don't want to admit to it. You know, you know, but you speaking Spanish, man. You speaking a so-called white man's language. You know, a Spaniards. Them Spaniards kicked y'all ass, but they don't like to talk about that though. They think they were just born speaking Spanish, man. Them, them damn Edomites from Spain put a foot in y'all ass, and now you speaking Spanish, and let you tell it that's your native language. You know, but that's our people though, man. Fucked up in the head. You know, and then they come over here and shit on us, so-called Negroes. You know, so these curses fucked us all the way up, man. Especially the so-called Negroes, they hit us the worst. You know, because hey, we the ones put the hit out on the Lord, man. You know, when we said it should have no Caesar, no king but Caesar, that was the so-called Negroes, man. So guess what? We put the Lord to death. So the curses came down on us the worst, man. The hardest. And believe me, they hit. You know, they hit, man. And them bitches still sticking. It says, and if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. So Lord saying, if you pay him back swiftly and speedily, maybe he can work some things out. But he know you ain't gonna do it, and you can't do it. You can't pay the Most High back, man. Your money's no good, man. You fucked up when you put your hands on his people. So there's nothing else to talk about. You know, no money's gonna get you out of his ass, people. you know, you know how a motherfucker do something so wrong, you don't want to talk, you don't want no money, you just want his ass beat, and that's how the Lord feeling, man. He know you ain't gonna be able to pay him back, and and on top of that, your money's no good. Your money's no good with the Most High, man. He needs you. He needs you, man. Verse 5. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, talking about us Israelites, and have carried into your temple my goodly pleasant things. And it's talking about the artifacts that we have, the menorah, for one, where you look at that the Arch of Titus, where the Romans ransacked the temple in 70 AD. And they got that Arch of Titus over in, was it Paris? Some part of France. I forget exactly where. But if you look at it, you see the Romans carrying the menorah, man, the golden menorah that we had. Took it, boast about it, man. So the Most High ain't forgotten about that either. He saw you take all our shit, man. And the crazy part about it, well, if you're on the outside of this, you think it's crazy, but the man of the Lord, he allowed it to happen, man. You know, he allowed it to happen. You know, and ever since 70 AD, we ain't been the same. You know, we've been fucked ever since 70 AD, man. Truth be told. Verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, the northern and the southern kingdom, have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. So yeah, we've been sold to the Grecians, man. So-called white people. We've been sold to them because these are nothing but the Greeks, the Romans, all back in the reincarnation. And we've been removed far from our border. You know, we're in Babylon now, man. You know, the mystery Babylon. We're in it. Verse 7, behold, I will raise them out of the place whether ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So the Most High saying he's going to raise us out of places where we were sold and scattered. He's going to bring that ass whipping on you, man. He's going to repay you for touching his people. You be like, oh, that wasn't me. That was my great, 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 great. Yeah, but you are those great, great, great in the reincarnation, man. And you back to pay that tab. You know, the scripture speaks about how you come back in the third and fourth generation. And you here to pay that tab, man. Verse 8, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, who are the so-called Negroes. So slavery's coming back. The slave trade is coming back, man. You know, it's already going on in Africa still with them Arabs down there, killing them damn Africans and Hamites. But it's coming back in a big, major way. So the Lord saying he's going to sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah. So we're going to have slaves, man. We are going to have slaves. Oh, well, you know, because I'm tired of doing shit for myself all the time. I ain't enough time in the day. You know, my to-do list gets longer and longer. And I only got so much time on the weekend to do it. So it's gonna be beautiful in the kingdom of heaven. I'm gonna have all kind of help and all kind of leisure time, man. You know, I'm gonna give me a big ass pitcher of lemonade and sweet tea and a rocking chair, man. Just watch my slaves out there in the field work. And give me a piece of straw and sit there and chew it. And when I get the itch, I'm gonna go out there in the field and beat me somebody, man. You ain't gotta be doing nothing wrong. I'm just gonna beat you anyway. You know, hands start itching, just wanna beat something. Have that whip. I'm gonna let it rip. So the Lord gonna allow us to sell everybody outside of the nation of Israel. All y'all gonna be slaves and property of Yasharallah, man, of Israel. You know? All y'all gonna be our property. And yes, we're gonna have bed winters, man. We're gonna have bed winters. Like the so-called white man had bed winters, we're gonna have them too, man. So if you look good, you know, slavery might not be so bad for you, man. If you're a woman, you might actually enjoy it. If you don't look good, hey, it's in the field. You gotta go to that field. Report ASAP. Work from dark to dark. You can't see in the morning, you can't see at night. You know? Let's go on. I like that part. It says, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, who are the Hamites, to a people far off. For the Most High, or Yahweh has spoken. So the Lord is coming from up top. Like they say, you get an email like, oh, this coming from up top. So yeah, this is coming from up top. The Most High said he's going to allow us to sell your sons and your daughters, man. Ship your son and your daughter off to whoever or wherever, man. You know, be like, yeah, you know, talk to one of my brothers, like, hey, man, you need a slave? You know, I'm tired of looking at this one slave. You know, you want him? Or you want him? I'm like, sure, yeah, I could use him. Hey, take him. You ain't got to give me nothing for it, you know? You know, I don't want nothing from my brother, man. Just get it off my hands, you know? You know, and not just the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans are going to be doing the same thing we doing. They're going to have slaves also. You know? I'm going to have you out there cutting grass with scissors, man. I want a well pedicured lawn, man. I'm real particular how I like things too, you know? I'm very particular on how I like my stuff, how I like my yard, man. Now, if I had the time, you know, my shit would be looking a whole lot better. But in the kingdom, I'm gonna have so much help and so many slaves. I don't expect nothing but the best, man. And the good thing about this, man, we're gonna have all the nations in slavery, man. We're gonna have our pick of the women, you know? We're gonna have all the different kind of women, man. You know, we're gonna have so-called Chinese woman, so-called Japanese woman, so-called Arab woman, Ethiopian. We're gonna have them all, man. We're gonna have every single one of them, man. Whatever we want, we're gonna get. You know? Like that one movie, I forget where the guy says, it's good to be the king, man. It's good to be the king. And I'm gonna have my pick of the litter, man, at any given moment. And they're gonna have plenty of back pain, man. You catch my drift. They're gonna have plenty of back pain, man. You already know what I'm talking about. Gonna be a lot of headboard cracking in the kingdom of liberty, man. A lot of bed breaking. There goes the bed sheets, man. You gotta have a little fun with this thing. Man. You gotta have a little fun. But I'm deadly serious though. You know? And, you know, I'm cracking jokes, but this thing is serious a fucking heart attack though. And I ain't making none of it up either. None of it. Let's read that over again. This is Joel 3:6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, both the tribes, because we both went into slavery, the northern and the southern kingdom. And have ye sold into the Grecians, because the so-called Latinos and so-called Native Americans, they got shipped off to Seville, Spain. Man. They got shipped to Spain. You know, so and believe me, they didn't get on a cruise and go to Spain. No, their asses went over there shackled up, man. You know, they ain't say, hey, here's a nice ticket for you to go to Spain. No, the so-called white man put their ass in shackles, man, just like they put us. It was like they was going that way, and we were going the other way. We were going in the opposite direction. Oh man. Verse 8, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians. So we're gonna get our slaves, figure out which ones we're gonna keep, which ones we're gonna get rid of, and then we're gonna sell those to the so-called Africans, man, and Hamites. They're gonna be slave traders, man. Under us though, man. They can't do nothing without our approval. It ain't gonna be no heathens just doing whatever hell they want to in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to get all the approvals from the nation of Israel. You ain't gonna be able to do your own thing in the kingdom, man. You gotta get your approval, starting with Yahweh Shah, who's gonna be the ruler of the earth, King David, and the 12, man. And then the 144,000. You know? You can't do none without our approval. And if you do, you're gonna pay the price, man. You're gonna pay a price. I ain't talking about with money either. says to it, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. But Yahweh have spoken. So yeah, these so-called Africans gonna be our taskmasters. You know, they're gonna be up under us. We're gonna tell these Hamites what to do and what we want done. They gonna tell you heathens, man. The rest of you heathens what to do. Like, hey, boss need his palace built. Just like the streets of gold in Jerusalem. Yeah, he want his driveway like the streets of gold. You know, or hey, my master saying, he need them bushes trimmed. Hey, get them trimmed right now. You gotta get on it, man. Hey, my wives, my children, man, they want to eat. You gotta get them other heathens in that kitchen and start cooking, man. That's how it's gonna go down, man. It's gonna be a ruling class and a servant class, man. Just like how it is now. But it's gonna be flipped. And we ain't serving ever again, man. It's gonna be straight rulership from that day forward, man. No more fucking jobs. No more jobs. Like on that one clip, it's gonna be how things supposed to be, man. And all our women gonna be in order, man. All our women. They gonna have to bow down and worship us, man. The Israelite man is gonna move. It ain't gonna be like how it is now. How you gotta worship the woman. No, it's gonna be flipped, man. Even our women gonna worship us and call us masters, man. Call you Lord. So it ain't gonna be, hey, nigga this, nigga that. No, it's gonna be what you need, my Lord. Which is gonna be beautiful, man. Hey, my Lord, how can I serve you, my Lord? We going back to that, man. Women gonna be under control, man. How the hell you gonna be a king? You can't run your household, man. Their ass is gonna be under control. Because guess what? We're gonna be the kings. Everybody else got to serve us. Now it's gonna be a lot of head cracking. It's gonna be a lot of jaw breaking around that bitch, man. And the spirit raw today. The spirit got me raw. It's going. This went a whole different way, man, today. It's Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, you other nations. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. So wake up the soldiers, man, the men of war. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Let them come up to what? To the valley of Jehoshaphat. The valley of decisions. These troops are getting stirred up, man. These troops are getting mobilized. World War III is here. You already got Putin talking about he ready to shoot some nukes on NATO, man. Russia is ready to stop playing games with Ukraine and take this war to Poland. I don't know how true it is, but they claim Russia is massing troops on Poland's border, man. And he's ready to take Poland and shoot on NATO, man. And once that happens, man, you know, that's flat out World War III. And that's all people getting their asses drafted, man.
You got lions back there?
You know, you're gonna get your ass drafted, man. You're gonna be you boots and a rifle. You're gonna get boots and a rifle, man. Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. So all your agricultural items, forget all that. Start turning into missiles, guns, tanks. You know, start getting weapons of war, man. You know, there's a big battle taking form, man, as we speak.
Second. That was my feeling.
It says, let the weak say I'm strong, because you got the weak nation saying I'm strong now. You got China, Russia, North Korea. You know, they don't want to be bullied no more, man. You know, Iran, they saying they tired of being pushed over, man. So they ready to go to war. Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, till the cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. So the mighty ones is talking about the angels, man, because the angels is going to take place in this war too, man. They're going to get busy also. Like Arsenio Hall, let's get busy, right? But the angels are going to come down, where it speaks about that fight in heaven, man, with Satan and his angels. And you're going to have the Most High and his angels, you know, having a dog fight in the heavens, man. You know, the jet fighters, fighter jets, so-called UFOs, man. All piloted by angels, man. And they're going to come and go to war with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You know, so they on the news talking about, oh, there's little green men in them spaceships, you know, humanoids. They know goddamn well what's in them UFOs, man. They just trying to play you like you stupid. You know? They know damn well what's in them UFOs. They even got foot each other, man. They know the Lord is coming back to put a foot in his ass, man. And the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of the Most High, man, they're gonna take place in this World War III too, man. They got a role to play too. Verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, where I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. So the Most High, he's gonna gather all these nations to the Middle East, to the Levant, and he's gonna judge all of them, man. And he ain't gonna sit there, you know, on the throne and say, oh, you know, Raphael, come up. Okay, next. You know, Tyson, you next. No. Talking about to put you to death, man. He's talking about he's gonna put these heathens to death in the Middle East, man. And you Israelites too. You're gonna go over in that desert and the Lord's gonna kill you too, man. If you're not part of the elect and you go over there and fight this World War III, and the Lord's gonna barbecue your ass over there in that desert. Because eventually you're gonna have to fight the Lord, man. When he returns, you're gonna have to fight him. And at that point, you're an enemy, man. You know, on the battlefield, you're gonna be an enemy. So, once you get your papers, you do your little training, and your ass get put on that C-17 and get your ass flown out, or like they say, get your ass flued out. You get flued out to the Middle East. Just know that's where you're gonna die at. That's gonna be your grave. Says, and come up to the valley Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Yeah, so once all these nations get over there to that desert, Moses saying, put the sickle in, man. It says, for the harvest is ripe. Yeah, all you people are gonna be ripe for the picking, man. It says, come, get ye down, for the press is full. Yeah, this is going in parabolic, It says, the press is full, the vats overflow, for their wickedness is great. So yeah, you know how back in the old days, how they will make wine, right? They'll have like a wine press. Some may still use it today. They put the grapes in the wine press, and they turn the handle and press them down. So the Most High is saying, this is how you're gonna do those nations over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat. He's saying that press will be full, and he's gonna fucking squeeze them, man. When he's judging them, and nothing but blood's gonna flow out, man. Yeah. Instead of grape juice, it's gonna be actual human blood, man. It's for the wickedness is great. 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. Yeah, that day is near, man. Trump and Netanyahu is hell bent on getting this World War III started, man. Netanyahu can't rest at night, man. He got to keep this war going, on his ass going to prison. So he's gonna take it all the way to the max. Even if that meal means killing himself and killing the rest of the world, man. He's gonna make sure he don't go to prison. He's gonna make sure either his ass get killed, or he make sure everybody else is gonna be killed in the process, man. And what better way than that is to get World War III going with some nukes, man. Once those nukes are shot off, you'll forget all about trying to put him in prison after that. Because this war is gonna go nuclear, man. Thermonuclear ICBM missiles. So they prepping you, getting you ready. They talking about they want to nuke Iran, which they know that only leads to them being nuked and the US being nuked, but they don't care. That's the plan. Verse 15, The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their lightning, shining. Like, yeah, because Esau Edom's not gonna have the intelligence to get out of this. Man. Once this war starts and it goes hot, there's gonna be no turning back. It's gonna be the ball is gonna be in motion, and there's nothing gonna be done to stop it. Man. Like now, nobody can stop it now. You know, so people are just slowly watching your death, man. You know, and you got those people in Washington up there in DC all marching you towards to your death. And you got Tel Aviv, you know, they hell bent, man. They don't give a damn. Everything must go with them, man. So you got Tel Aviv and DC getting ready to destroy the damn planet, man. Well, I wouldn't say the whole planet, but a great majority of it. You know, there's gonna be some places not hit by the nukes, but they willing to take it that far, man. And it's gonna go that far. So if you're in America, you're not gonna make it. You for sure are not. I don't care what kind of underground bunker you got, what kind of bug out location you think you got. It won't do you any good, man. Every square inch, square mile of this place is gonna get nuked, man. It's gonna be touched by the nukes. Verse 16, Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. Why are they going to shake? From after those nukes detonate, there's going to be so many nukes hit America and throughout the earth. The whole earth is going to quake. The whole entire planet is going to quake, man. That's why it speaks about in Isaiah 19 how the idols are going to pretty much crumble. All the idols will crumble, man, from this giant earthquake after the nukes get detonated. It says, "And the heavens and earth shall quake, but Yahweh will be the hope of his people, the elect of his people, and the strength of the children of Israel." Verse 17, "So shall ye know that I am Yahweh your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no more strangers pass through her anymore." Yeah, no heathens are going to pass through us or go to our inner temple. Man. Israel is going to be pure, man. You know, we all going to have the law, statute, commandments programmed in us. You know, we never going to sin again. You know, we all going to be holy and pure, man. Every single Israelite. You know, and we all going to be united again, man. Speaks about in Ezekiel how there's going to be no more northern and no more southern kingdom. We're all going to be one people. You know, I'm not going to look at a so-called Latino and be like, oh, he's from the northern kingdom, you know? No, all that's going away, man. We should be known as Israelites, all of us. So it says, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. Yeah, that's gonna be end of the captivity. That's gonna be end of the curses. You know, it's gonna be a new page for us, man. A new beginning and righteousness, man. Like I said, man, the main thing, no more curses, no more serving, and no more dying, man. No more getting sick. We never gonna die. You hear me? We ain't never dying again after that, man. We ain't gonna know what being sick feels like. No more pain. And that's when we enter into the new covenant. That you dummies like to say that we in the new covenant right now. We're not in the new covenant right now. We're going into the new covenant. And once the elect get beamed up into those so-called UFOs, that's when the new covenant starts, man. But right then, the men and women and children that get delivered, they're gonna experience those new bodies, man. We're gonna have those extraterrestrial bodies. Man. No more sickness, no more death, no more crying, man. No more mourning. All we know is tears of joy, man. All we're gonna know is tears of joy. You know, so hey, man, I think that's pretty much it. I might close it. I think I am gonna close out on it. You know, so we're coming to that days, man. You know, I'm glad this war has started back up. You know, it just keeps me focused on the prophecies, man. Letting me know that we almost out of here. We're almost out of here. And all this, what I'm doing is gonna be a distant memory. You know, 10, 15, 20,000 years down the road, this won't even be a thought, man. You know, can you imagine living 15, 20, 30,000 years, man? You can't wrap your mind around eternity, man. You know? 5,000 years, 1,000 years, man. How can you wrap your mind around that? Babe, but that's what's that's the promise we was given, man. Eternal life, man. And we're gonna watch you heathens, everybody outside these people on this sign, we're gonna watch y'all grow old and wither away. You know? We're gonna watch you die and fade away, man. And then we'll see you again in 50 to 60 years, man, when your ass come back reincarnated. We'll be right here waiting on you. Well, not here, but we'll be in Israel waiting on you, man. We'll be in Jerusalem waiting for you to come back. You know? You know, we're gonna know. You know, we're gonna know that spirit when it come back, man. Like, oh, that's such and such, from 60 70 years ago, man. He's back. She's back, you know? But we're gonna be right here still ticking, man. You know, living forever. Like what's the name said? R. Kelly said, hey, in that song, he say the picture frame might change, but the portrait stays the same though. You know, roughly paraphrasing that song. Like, hey, it's gonna be Israel the same. Everything else is gonna change around us, but we still gonna be here, man. You know, we're still gonna be living, man. You know, we're going to experience what eternity is really about, man. You know, we're gonna be looking like Bruce Leroy, man, with that glow on. You know, glowing. We all fucking 7 foot tall. Everybody got their height. You know, Jake looking like he's 17, 18 years old. But he fucking 3,000, 4,000 years old though, man. You know, you're gonna get that youthful appearance back, man. You know, you had that nice smooth skin when you was 14, 15 years old. You're gonna have that forever, man. You're gonna look young as hell, you know, but you're gonna be fucking 900 years old, man. Looking like a damn teenager. You know, those are the things promised to the nation of Israel, man. But like I said before, man, I'm gonna be out here on this post. Sickness, it don't even matter, man. I'm gonna be out here, sick or not. You know what I'm saying? I need them promises, man. You know, I'm out here to get my prize, man. I'm out here to get my penny that the Most High Yahweh Shemi Shah promising, man. I'm out here to get paid, you know? You know, I'm out here to get my, main thing to get delivered, get the hell out of here. But I want them goodies too, man. You know, don't kid yourself. I'm out here, I need them goodies, man. You know? You know, I need all the perks in the kingdom, man. I need every single perk. If I got to come out here and look like a fool, I'm all for it. Sign me up. You know? I'm like, where do I sign? Oh, I got a chance of being of elect, you know, then being part of the 144,000. We're gonna be the ruling class of the nation of Israel, the 144,000. That's what I'm aiming for, man. That's what this is all about. How should I say, hey, I'll give you that penny, man. As long as you keep the faith to the end. So it is what it is, man. Like I said, you gotta hold them to it. You gotta hold Yahweh Shemi Shah to their words, man. You gotta remind them, you know? So you Jakes want to come out here and do this work? Yeah, you got to do the work. You commanded to do it. So-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you men of Israel, you commanded to come out here once you get this truth. But once you come out here, just know that, hey, there's a reward that comes with this, man. You know, you also want to be rewarded, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I didn't get to my Ecclesiastes 5 like I wanted. I was gonna go to Ecclesiastes 5. I was gonna do that, and then I was gonna go to Ecclesiastes 3. I didn't get a chance to do that either. Spirit had me going a whole different direction. No, it is what it is. Maybe next time. Before I get out of here, man, I'm gonna give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Shalom.